Hi everyone, welcome to the inaugural podcast for the Game of Thrones League. This is something that the draft commissioners were thinking of doing, so we're going to trial out a podcast going forward every week. I'm your host, Sham, 1/3 of the league commissioner. Alongside me, I have Binesh Karavadra.
Hey guys.
And I also have Dan Dixon.
Hello.
Perfect. All right, so let's get into it and basically what this podcast is about, what we're going to try and do. So the brief overview of the podcast is to discuss all the written crap that is mentioned on the group, where we kind of discuss certain arguments, fights, banter, and also Rule 10 violations, which is man the F up. So yeah, just trying to bring everything together in this one cohesive format and and see where it goes. We're thinking of doing the podcast every week. So in the week we will discuss the previous game week, a review of all the head-to-heads, followed by managers' media comments, and discuss about them, and also talk about the following game week, a preview of what's to come, and also some kind of predictions as well of where we see the league going and how we can kind of push forwards and make improvements to the league as we go ahead. Perfect. I think that's everything on my side. So the next step now is to talk about the league rules, the structure of what this league is about and how we are going ahead with the league. And I'll pass on to Dan to discuss about them.
So we took a moderately successful criteria last year and decided to explode that this year. So we took 6 teams playing head-to-head, and somehow managed to coerce 4 additional people. So there's 10 of us playing head-to-head. So what that means is if you have a terrible run, there's always a chance you'll come up against Ed and pick up 3 points from nowhere. Watch me lose to Ed in a couple of weeks. So we had our draft, which was gloriously overblown in Davies in a private room, chilly and alcohol-fueled.
And goat's cheese, don't forget the goat's cheese.
And goat's cheese. we could probably spend 10 hours talking about the various punishments, and we'll listen to Binesh try and condense that down shortly. But where the league starts to get more interesting is around some of the trades. So any trade between players, we have to have a video capturing that and agreed to and witnessed by the wider group. You'll find those on YouTube. The waivers are a bit more of a free-for-all. We do want to try and keep track of those and see how people get on with those. So we'll hand over to Binesh now to talk about some of the league laws and the punishments and the forfeit.
Hello gents. Wow, laws.
That's a bit presumptuous.
I'm definitely keeping that in there.
Let's try and pretend that other people than us three.
I know, right? I know. We're all just getting a little bit more formal now. And then, Binesh comes with this fruitful entry. Hi guys.
Laws, forfeits. Call them what you like. This is quite a key foundation of the fantasy draft, adding another element of making sure you do your best on your performance of the teams. Just to give you a quick rundown, last season's winners forfeit. So Mahir came first last season, and unfortunately I came last, and I forfeited a Chaiki meal, I think, with all the team members. So I think the season forfeit will be. I
think the Chaiki lunch was like the
least. That
was very light compared to all the rubbish
yeah.
we've been saying to you
and
over
with
this
more
summer,
individuals.
and also what's to come as well. Yeah.
So it's probably worth ensuring avoid being last this season.
Exactly, John. Are you listening?
John, the second one applies to probably you as well, John. Round forfeits. So each round, once you've played everyone, the bottom individual will have to fork out a forfeit of some form. Just to give you a breakdown, some of these could be cronuts, coffees, walking around with a zip undone, etc. As long as the majority of the individuals on the season will agree with the forfeit, that will apply.
And there's a snippet at the bottom as well, so that when or if the forfeits become too stagnant, we can change those forfeits as and when.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on the other 9 managers on how bad we want to treat the loser. So the forfeits can be as creative as we like. I think one of them was suggesting a Christmas tie on Easter or something
streaking
like that.
around Canary Wharf.
Or streaking Canary Wharf, yeah.
If people don't do transfers and things like that, we can make the punishment even worse. Thinking, hang on, what has he done to try and make his team better? If he's hung on to his players,
yeah.
John,
yeah.
no
John, are you
listening?
This is basically a podcast to pick on John.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
John special.
Hey, wait till the Gameweek reviews. I'm sure we'll attack everyone.
On to 3. Round leader sacrifices. So this probably applies to me and Abu at the moment, right? So if the person,
So in this no expense spared podcast, I bought a gimmick, which every time Binesh has some Binesh bullshit bingo, I'm going to play the sound effects.
Wait, is this why you were late today? Like, basically, you had to go.
So round leaders, Binesh and Abu.
Okay, bullshit. That's it. There we go.
So the round winner has to forfeit one of their players, and according to this, it's a player that's played 50% of that round has to be given up. Interesting, very interesting. So
it's in the laws. So if I can jump in, it's basically any player that plays more than, so each round represents 5 game weeks. It's meant to be when everyone plays each other, but then we worked out that was 10 game weeks, and we weren't allowed enough round ceremonies to go get drunk, so we've shortened that to 5 game weeks. And so a round leader, or person that's leading at the point of like the round ceremony, the player that they sacrifice has to have played more than 3 games, which is a problem with Dan, because he keeps changing his players over and keeps changing his new teams. I mean, he's got the new, in using Abu's lovely creative words, he's got the tea lady, he's got the kit man for Man City. It is all just Manchester City players, which he's only just recently got. So I don't know if he can get 3 games out of them.
I can hear the jealousy. But luckily, I'm not going to be top.
You're right. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Yeah, that's true. So it is Abu. So I mean, if he tries to grab a player or sacrifice a player that hasn't played, that's sat on the bench, then he loses that player, and also he loses another player due to forfeits. I doubt it's going to be you looking at your team. I mean, you've been lucky for the last 3 game weeks. Where's that ball?
I don't know if the battery will last. But this rule is more in the interest of keeping it fresh, and we don't have someone walking away with the league, so we'll continually handicap them. On top of the handicaps, Mahir has already suffered from winning both the league last year and the World Cup league as well. It's worth pointing out he lost his first and third picks.
Yeah, and he's sitting in 4th place at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, let it be known that basically I came up with this rule last year and got shunned because I was at the bottom and it would only benefit me. But now, as league commissioner, I'm able to hammer this in, and I think everyone is happy with this rule. I think this rule is a very good rule. It helps the people at the bottom, and it puts a stop to the winning ways of the people that are leading. So it works both ways, and it goes hand in hand with the Game of Thrones theme.
Yeah. Yeah, so sacrifice for the leader, but there's sacrifices for the round loser as well. So round loser will have to minimum 200 words email the entire fantasy draft team as an apology, what's happened, what's failed, complimenting the winner.
200 different words.
200 different words. Yeah, there is.
You can't
there is
copy and paste. Sorry.
Yeah. And it has to be more personal than the letter that Mahir sent. I mean, I read that letter as well. That was dreadful.
Exactly, and
But
I've got a highlight. So
barely
John,
passed.
you better start thinking, John.
Yeah, better start getting creative with your letter of apology.
On to the season loser, on that loser topic still. So season loser, this is a bit of a way off yet. It'll be interesting to see, if John can get at that bottom spot at the moment. I know James Lee's still.
I think he
will.
I think the last place is definitely your place. It's there. It's ready for you when Mane goes to the African Cup of Nations. Yeah, exactly. He is just keeping the.
So should we see what my consequences are for a season
That's it.
loser?
There we go. So what does Binesh have to do this year?
Oh, it's carrying on the whole task and responsibly arranging next season's draft. That includes everything: trophies, arrangement of communication, fixtures, formats. Right across the board. So, as we've seen already, we only need to put Gameweek 3 and look at the amount of effort that's being put in, videos, etc. There's a whole load of other stuff coming into the mix. So, season loser, be prepared to spend probably, 50% of your time on fantasy draft.
Yeah.
And finally, season winner. So Mahir had the honours last season.
He did.
This time round, a trophy for the winner will be assigned.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great trophy. We really wanted to, get something or have something that someone can get that is really valuable and really nice to have, good to have on the mantle, not some made up piece of paper that a 5-year-old's done. And we've managed to get a Ballon d'Or trophy, which we offer to the league leaders.
And it has to be viewable and accessible by all members, right?
It has to be viewable and accessible by all members. So the trophy, I did buy the trophy at the start of the league, but on draft day, we felt, as we were bullying Mahir because he won so many games last season, we felt it was only just that trophy really belonged to him for last season. Alright guys, next is our Game Week 3 review. This is something that we want to recur every week, where we discuss, where we look back last game week and discuss how the head-to-heads have gone, and also briefly talk about the fixtures as well, how the actual Premier League teams have done, certain players to look out for, and also certain managers in the league to look out for as well. Starting off, unfortunately for me, is Great Balls of Fire, which is Binesh versus myself, Egg Fried Roast. Guttingly, I lost by 3 points. No thanks to a Richarlison head twitch, which gave him a red card, and also the shockingly bad performance that United played. I mean, it was so bad. I mean, the fact that I was there's no Rule 10, so don't come in with your Rule 10.
I thought we had that game. I really did.
No.
I thought that
I mean,
United versus Tottenham, I think.
I mean, it was there. It was there for the taking.
With the 10 points I donated to you for Maguire as well.
There you go.
Yeah,
how much more of a hand up you need.
I know. I
So
mean,
you threw everything, including the kitchen sink.
Pretty much, and it was just guttingly bad, where I just needed 6 points from 3 players, and considering those 3 players are De Gea, Valencia, and Pogba.
Binesh didn't even have a full team playing.
Yeah, I understand that.
I did give him a chance, but but it's entirely up to you. And chances.
It was shockingly bad. I mean, it was shockingly bad. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a long season. I mean, I have got a midfield that is only just coming back. Lovren is yet to play. Moses is just basically
Phenomenal signing.
just getting comfortable on that bench. So
He's over with me now.
Yeah,
which is
signing.
over to Binesh now. So
I've
I've given him to Binesh. So
Yeah,
keep
watch
that.
him perform for me.
What, on your bench? Yeah, yeah. But I feel like I've got a very good, strong team. My team is strong enough going forward, as in going into the next game weeks, and
Going to next season.
I mean, I've got.
But it looks a team well suited to the championship.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, guys. I mean, you can't talk because you all just got
We'll
City
get to
rejects.
that.
But I mean, on mine, I've got Maddison, I've got Richarlison, I've got Salah, and Milner has just been replaced by Eden Hazard, and I've got Pogba. I've got a mighty midfield, and the last 2 game weeks, I've scored 30 plus points on my midfield just alone. So as long as I get my midfield,
It's not
my
about
defense,
the points, it's about the head-to-end wins.
I understand.
As you know,
but I
you
will
know,
get back.
it's-
I will get back. But I mean, a brilliant display by Binesh. I mean, being trying to be fair, fantastic result for him to stay second
With the third lowest score that week.
with the third lowest score
Absolutely.
that week. But I mean,
the 3 lowest scorers are sat in this room.
yeah, exactly right, exactly.
It's
shocking.
almost as though we should be looking at our teams. Not
I know we should, yeah, but hey, you know what, let's just talk about it, it's fine. But I mean, Binesh has done well. He picked well in his draft, considering he got Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, and I think Wilson is a gamble that's basically paying off in the short term. But
3 wins out of 3 wins, though. That's
exactly what I said, like, you know,
Yes.
paying off in the short term. But I mean, it's doing well. I mean, Wilson scored a great goal, and Alisson just keeps getting in those clean sheets. Alexander-Arnold got unlucky there with the yellow card, and yeah,
He hit the
I
bar
think-
as well. Didn't
yeah, when he gets the yellow card, then that means there's no bonus points. It's a problem that I'm constantly facing with Salah as well.
he? Yeah.
And and for the first time ever, Mane didn't really perform as well.
didn't.
So kind of like a no show for him, but still came out with the W.
I think
So
Alisson has probably been my top signing. I did say during the draft process, look out for your keepers, guys.
Repeatedly.
Look out for your keeper. But obviously, it's paid off for me this time around.
yeah,
So far.
but considering like, you know, your first pick was like Danny Welbeck, I mean, I don't know.
He scored
He did actually score, but he scored after you sold him, right?
in the 95th minute. I think it
I
was
just
as well.
want to add in here,
But yeah.
and also if you saw that goal, he was open. I think West Ham just gave up and just like, you know.
I think they just thought it was Welbeck.
Yeah, they were like, it's
It's a
no,
goal kick.
he's not going to score, and then just like, go on, just give it a go, and then he ended up scoring. Yeah, no, fantastic display. Well done, Binesh. And yeah, let's go for the next one. So the next round is the next play was John Udison's team versus Nicholas Lonart, and yeah, shocking, amazing game over the weekend. It was tough for John. It was grueling for John, where John was in the league on Saturday by I want to say
On
6
Sunday.
points. Saturday and Sunday, he was in the league in the lead for I want to say 6 points by a 6 point margin.
Yeah, he was.
And then come Monday, the Monday night game came on, where there was Spurs versus United, or United versus Spurs, and Spurs came up with that very impressive win. It hurts to say it, being an Arsenal fan, but it was very impressive. And Trippier came back with a fantastic 11 points.
11
points.
I think he's one of the highest scorers.
11
of
points.
that-
I mean,
that week.
1 assist, clean sheet, gets 2 bonus points. Comes off in the 75th minute as well to keep his bonus points, bonus points and clean sheet intact as well. And also did well on the other side over the weekend as well. He's done well in the in the defense, but like Kieran Trippier really kind of like took him over to get that W to make sure that John stays bottom. So yeah, very upsetting. And also, if you look at the media comments, you can see that John wasn't impressed. He gave the most Mourinho-esque media response ever, which was epic, and I would want more from that, more of that from him as well. Nicholas's media responses were pretty amazing as well.
Did Nicholas understand that he won?
Yeah, he did. I mean,
or did someone have to point that out?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him on Tuesday, and I mean, like the look on his face, he was like, I mean, for someone who doesn't like football and not doesn't like football, is not into like the English Football League, and this just shows you how much how romantic this game can be, how amazing this game can be in terms of like Kieran Trippier and like coming back with that win last minute. It's pretty much it's a snapshot of every American football film, really, like basically right at the death, coming back at it and coming back with that W. So yeah, well done, Nicholas. Next one is we've got Greg versus James. Now this is another painful one, another painful game for James again, because it's such a high scoring game, 56-47. But
Wow.
the problem was, can someone come up with the media comments so I can just read some of James's media? Have you got the newsletter at hand?
Somewhere.
Was it? Should I get my laptop?
That's what I'll bring it up.
Cool.
If it renders.
47 minutes. No, sorry, 45 minutes so far.
Yeah, some of them are pauses and stuff. So
Yeah, plus I think if we cut the
that.
team out
Yeah.
yeah,
and just have
it'll just be like a 20-minute podcast, and then if you just animate it afterwards.
Yeah, great.
Nice one. So another great game was Greg versus James. Two high-scoring games. Each player, each team performed amazingly well. You've got Greg that had Monreal, Hazard, Walcott, Pereira from Watford, and Zaha as well. Finally he's now scored 2 goals. In 3 games, I think he's got 2 goals and an assist, I believe.
Similar to Wilson.
Yes. Okay, yeah, not quite there yet. And then also, James as well, which is just painful because he
over 100 points scored in that game.
I know.
Overall,
I mean,
it's,
47 points in that game week. I mean, he got 9 from Robertson. Van Dijk has given him 8 points.
Wow.
Tarkowski as well, 5 points. I think Tarkowski got, Tarkowski with that goal as well, and Gundogan as well, 8 points, and Arnautovic as well there. Guttingly, he had Etheridge on the bench, but to be honest, looking at that game, I wouldn't have played him either. I wouldn't have thought about that result happening anyway for Huddersfield versus Cardiff. But the worst was so you looking at James's media comments, you can feel the pain that he's feeling. So on Saturday he was 36-18 up, which is shocking.
Wow.
After and then
they switched off.
And then on Sunday he was, but
Two
even
halves,
I
yeah.
know, but even on Sunday 44-36 James was up, and then come Monday night, Greg had Lloris and Alderweireld, and those guys came in
That
with
Man
the
United
points.
Spurs game had
The Man
a big
United-
impact on a lot of the scoring.
A lot of teams have suffered due to that Man United and Spurs game.
I did. If Lukaku had scored 12.
Yeah. Yeah. All he needed was 2 goals. Well, you missed an open goal. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you should have got a negative point for that. I mean, that was
someone
shocking.
else's problem.
That was shocking. Yeah, but
Good luck.
yeah, shocking for James. I really do feel for him because he had such a good team, and I mean, he played like, I mean, his team done so well. It was, but Greg was there right at the end with Lloris and Alderweireld to come in with those extra points, ending the game in 56-47, going Greg's way.
I feel like James is going to snap and we will be throwing Rule 10 at him.
Yeah, I know.
He's just gonna have a meltdown.
I know, but he's there. But what I want to see is just him lose more, and then Kajal, his technical director, basically, I want him to record the conversation that he has to have with Kajal, saying, "Hi, friend." As basically you mentioned, like, I've put you in down as this. I know, some of the drinking was involved, and I've promised you some drinking, but unfortunately, we're stuck at the bottom. We have to cause some forfeits, do some forfeits, and now Kajal is going to be sat there eating goat's cheese and goat's chili peppers, which is never going to be good for her system. So. Yeah, I can't wait. I'd like more of it, but I do feel for James because he has got a great team, and I feel like for the last 3 game weeks he's scored very highly. So he is a guy that's under the radar, a dangerous team, definitely a dangerous team. He is the Klopp of this league, really. Comes right to the end and then loses on the last day. Perfect. So the next one we've got Abu and Ed. Do you want to take that? So do you want to start do the next one, because I feel like we make this a little bit more even. So just say next one.
Next one, Cronutters Abu and Flying Pigs Edward. 47-36. Another game impacted by another Man United Spurs impact on who came out top. I think Abu was sitting on 16 points by roughly Sunday. I'm thinking, he's lost that, so I'll remain at top spot.
Yeah.
But then looking at that, 3-0 for Spurs to turn everything around. So Abu, great points for Kane. Ericsson.
Yeah,
Davies
amazingly
well.
He came in with the end of the last day with Kane and Ericsson getting him 16 points, which kind of took him over, made him comfortable. But then also, I feel like he won it on Sunday with Mitrovic. I mean, that game, Fulham against Burnley. I mean, who would have thought?
Of the round.
Yeah, amazing.
But yeah,
he won it due to that round. Mitrovic basically scoring fantastically well. I think it was 2 goals. Yes, 2 goals and 1 assist. He did fantastically well, and Abu reaped those benefits.
Yeah. Edward got some high scorers, but
he did, and he had a Spurs player. But I mean, he only had one Spurs player, which is Vertonghen. I mean, you're struggling when your opponent has Kane and Ericsson in your team, still a good team. I must admit, it is a good team. Up front is the same issue with mine. He's got good defenders though.
So 5-2-3 formation. Interesting.
It's funny how this season's playing, because the forwards are not basically performing as well as last season or the season before. But today and this season, it's all mostly around midfielders and defenders and
scoring. Goalkeepers. Some of the goalkeepers have been.
Last game week was Edison with the assist as well. He missed out on the clean sheet, which is a pain for defenders. I mean, relying on defenders, it's a struggle, because you can lose the bonus point really quickly with just one conceded goal. Relying on your defenders is a good play. It's a very risky play, and it has worked for Ed before, but in this game we just didn't.
Yep. Well done, Abu, for moving into the top spot.
Yeah,
absolutely. Next game, final game. It's Carroll and Osborne reserves, Dan and Mahir. That was an annihilation.
That was an
26
annihilation. It
points
was basically
Dan.
Man City versus Huddersfield last game week. That's what it was.
Against 50.
Was shocking.
For someone that's lost their first and third pick, and to lose, looking at that squad there for Mahir, he's actually performed very well. Alonso, another key man, scoring 11 points.
Yeah, I mean,
looking
at Mahir's kind of bullish media response was Alonso and Mora combined got Dan's whole team score, which
Which is
is
fine. I sensed that the 3 points had gone. I decided not to get any more points on the board. Why waste them?
yeah.
Dan, let's have a look. Let's see who got the points for you this time around.
Who got
It
the
was
lack of
only
points?
Laporte who bothered doing anything. Yeah, it's fine. As I said in my media comments, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, and you're probably happy to offload Lukaku after this as well.
Yeah, and there's two ways I can look at this. Either I've got too many City players and I should get rid of some, or I can double down and get more City players. So that's what I've done.
Yeah, and I think you've more than doubled down and got more team. I mean, pretty much your whole team is just City
We
players.
should call him Pep from now on,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Pep Dixon. That's what it is.
I did, in the middle of the night, I did suddenly think, hang on, City, Champions League, they'll probably do quite well in the Cups. There's going to be some game weeks where they don't play.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to work out so well.
You're going to have one player playing. I mean, hopefully that game is against me. Also, one thing to mention on your media comments was an insulting video from Mahir and Nicholas. Do you want to discuss more about this?
I think we should. I'm trying to keep it unbiased and leave that in the hands of the rule of justice when we get to our first round.
Yeah.
We don't specify that you shouldn't copy someone else's video moments after it's been uploaded, but yeah, it's whether people want the rule or the spirit of the rule.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. The spirit of the rule is there's definitely something needs to change here, and whether Mahir and Nicholas have to deal with the penalty now. Or we let them pass. We're not quite sure.
If we don't let them pass, we'll see another Teletubbies video coming through. I think.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, the whole point of the video.
No one wants to see that.
I don't think anyone wants to see another Teletubbies video. But I mean, the whole point of this is to be creative, to make our transfers better than any other fantasy football draft. And that's what we're trying to do, and Mahir and Nicholas have not gone about doing that. I did mention you could just do a simple dirty video like I did with myself, with Ed. No, not with Ed, with Greg, and what Nick did with Greg as well, which is just a basic video that is more than fine, and also with us as well, Moses and Zabacosta. They could have done that, but instead they decided on copying Dan's video. So again, we'll come back in this podcast to discuss how the trial went. Possibly we may record the trial and upload that as well. Perfect. Cool. So next is our finally, we're going to discuss briefly our Game Week 4 fixtures. Who do we have to play? And some predictions. We're not going to go too deeply into it because we're doing so badly, us three here, so we don't want to talk shit just yet. But talk about who's playing who, what game is interesting, and what's a vital 6-pointer.
First game on the list.
So
egg fried rice.
Yeah,
Sham
that
against
is
Carol.
That is me against Mahir. The former champion, I was going to say the reigning champion at the moment. I guess it must be said. His team is like, the thing is, it's Mahir. I mean, he can get like a bunch of rejects from championships, from the championship, and I'm sure he'll still get them to get points in the Premier League. So
it feels like he's got a vendetta to sort of raid. I mean, Dan. And I think you've got. You might have similar something coming in.
I feel like
50-point week for Mahir.
Yeah, I feel like he has a vendetta against me because I don't know. I was trying to hold up the laws, and because I'm trying to hold up the laws, he feels like I have something against him. Which I don't. I don't have anything against him because if I did, I wouldn't have given him a goddamn trophy. I'm respectful of his team and his qualities, but Yeah, I mean, I guess all I'm playing of his team is two players. I'm playing Alonso and Lucas Moura. Lucas has a chance to basically score him big again. Chelsea have got Bournemouth at home, which that's another opportunity for Alonso to get good goals. Bournemouth's defense has been that great defensively, but they've been striking really well. So. I don't know. See where it goes. It's going to be a tough game. I feel like with the inclusion of Eden Hazard, that should eliminate some of the points.
That's going to change the game slightly.
Yeah.
So you're predicting a win for yourself?
I am predicting a win. I am 100% predicting a win. I feel like I can beat Mahir.
I think I was going to say I think Mahir is going to pull this one off.
Well,
tactically, I think he's thought about this one. The rest of this week, all I've been hearing is tactics regarding this game against you.
Yeah,
I think it'll pay off.
He is so focused to play against me.
Exactly.
I mean, the fact that I've been doing newsletters and arranging a podcast and doing other things might suggest that I've not put enough time into this.
There's a chap that signed Hazard.
Oh yeah. That was pretty good. That was that was good. That was a few beers in. Managed to get that transfer done.
Yeah. Dan, what's your?
So I'm with you, Binesh. I think Mahir will somehow find Cardiff reserve who's suddenly about to be launched into the first team and score a hat trick and
5-0 result.
Edge it by 1 point.
Yeah, I mean our waivers come in 20 minutes, so we'll find out in 20 minutes who our waivers who's got who for their waivers. So it is possible. It is only Mahir can do this, and he has done this before all season. So we'll see how it goes. The next is yourself, Dan. If you want to.
Oh, Dan and the top spot man, Chronotus.
The top spot person.
This is the man to beat.
Manchester City versus Chronotus.
Okay, Man City versus Tottenham, right?
Yeah, versus Tottenham. Yeah.
So I'm all right with this week. So it's not about this week for me. It's about next week. It's about making sure I beat Ed in game week 5 to make sure I don't finish bottom. So this week's a bonus round.
Yep.
And at least this week, with Man City playing in the 5 p.m. kickoff, at least I know whether my weekend is ruined a little bit later than 3 p.m.
I mean, you're in a good spot because City. I mean, if you look at the stats going back like multiple seasons, City have demolished Newcastle, and Aguero has got such a good scoring rate.
Yeah.
I know you don't have Aguero, but I mean you do have assisting players that you now have Mendy. I mean that must feel good to feel like.
Is he playing? Is he not injured, right?
No. So my prediction is that City will be 4-0 up until the 92nd minute when Rondon will fall over and score accidentally and wipe out my clean sheets. And given my track record of selling players, my money's on Lukaku scoring a couple. For Abu.
And he's got Kane.
United away at Burnley. You could see them scraping an ugly win there. Lukaku getting a couple.
Cardiff away as well for Arsenal. Abu has Mkhitaryan now in his squad, which is.
I've got him now.
Oh, have you? Oh, sorry.
I've got Mickey.
So that's a good one for you.
Transfer deal that went
it's a very good one for you because Cardiff have only managed 3 shots on target. None has gone in. They're the only team in this league to not actually score a goal. It's. I mean, but knowing Arsenal, being an Arsenal fan, that only gives them license to actually score a goal and actually play a worldie and beat Arsenal 4-0. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Aubameyang as well. He's playing his lack of goals very lightly. He's joking about it on social media. So it feels like it's not getting to him too much. So. We feel like there's still a clear head there, so potentially he could score a handful of goals. And if he does score goals, then I don't see it coming from anyone else other than Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Predictions for Abu versus me?
I'm going to say that Abu's going to pip this one. I think it's going to all rely on that Watford Spurs game right at the end, last game, and it'll be neck and neck up until then. And I think Abu's going to pip it with his Spurs players. same as last round.
Really, I mean, Watford has been playing amazingly well. Do you really think?
Yeah,
like,
I think I think Spurs have been quite exceptional. I think this time round Watford will buckle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Fine. So a clean sweep.
Yeah.
To win.
Yeah, I think Abu as well. Yeah.
So next up, Ed and the Flying Pigs versus Greg and Binesh in my rear view.
Oh.
So I think this is finally poised now. With Greg losing Hazard, I think it's tight.
Well, I do want to say that basically, hasn't what was the transfer made between Nicholas
Walcott?
Walcott off.
Walcott. So
he's lost two people. He's lost Theo Walcott and Eden Hazard.
Exactly.
As well. So
I think a lot depends on who he picks up in the waivers.
Yeah.
Because his squad isn't that deep. He's carrying a couple of United players who don't play or are injured.
It's almost as if Greg wants to stay in my rear view, actually. So
yeah, there we go.
But then I don't think Ed's team is very good.
Which is two midfielders. I think he's playing.
I mean,
solid.
he's definitely struggling in the midfield due to the fact that Shaqiri is not playing. Ozil is not Ozil keeps having fights with Emery, and we have Fabregas as well. Fabregas is injured. I mean, when he comes back, where will he sit? I don't think he'll take Gervinho's. He won't take Kovacic's role. Potentially, he could take Kante's role because he can score, or he's more likely to score than Kante. But then
he's not as mobile.
And he won't track back as quick as Kante as well. So, Ed really does have a problem in the midfield. But I mean, what we were mentioning before in the review, if he can get some clean sheets, which is a very risky play to make, but if he gets those clean sheets, then potentially he can get through just from those clean sheets alone. I mean, looking at his team,
he's got a reasonable mix of players, so I think he's not dependent on any one club. I think he could just pick up points here and there.
Yeah, and the good thing with Ed, I feel like Ed is the only one with the defence that's the most cohesive, because they're not playing each other. You have Spurs playing Watford, you have Chelsea playing Bournemouth, you have Arsenal playing Cardiff, United playing Burnley. And Liverpool playing Leicester.
Looking at the
very, very good, cohesive defence. But
I think Ed will pip this game. I think looking at the games that are in play in the league and what he's got and what Greg's lost.
Yeah, you see, I even though Greg has lost, but he's got backers in turn as well, because I mean Milner. He's going to have the fact that he was part of my team.
You don't need to sell Milner anymore.
Well, I don't need to, and I'm not selling him. I've always been completely honest. I feel like this is Milner's season. He's guaranteed taking the penalties. So he's always there for them. His assist counter over the last 12 months has been amazing for Liverpool, and he has the opportunity to carry on with those assists going forward. Also, he still has Pereira as well. Watford, I mean Spurs, they're doing well, but this is away. Watford has been playing really well at home, and Pereira could damage or get through Spurs' defence. And he has Zaha as well. Zaha have got Crystal Palace have got a great run of fixtures. Going forward, they've got Southampton in this game week at home. So I really do see Zaha scoring some points there as well. So I think Greg.
Ooh, Dan.
I'm going for draw.
Oh, really?
I'm going to go for our first draw if we do.
First draw of the season.
I'm going to go for this 15-point all draw.
Oh, this will be interesting. Nice. This is the one to watch out for.
yeah, definitely.
This is that's the game to be about. But yeah, good luck, guys. Final game, final fixture. Is it
no, two more. Oh, this is the 6-pointer. So we have bottom place.
What is this? A relegation battle
versus second to bottom. That is James Lee.
Wow.
And I mean, considering James has scored such high points, and their team has been performing. I struggle to see John get past this. This will show, unless Arsenal come back and cause a blinder. Emery decides to put Lacazette and Aubameyang up front, and both of them score the same amount of goals that they did against Bournemouth. Sorry, not Bournemouth, Bournemouth in the pre-season. Then I don't see it going his way. I feel like this is just James. This is an easy win for James.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same. I think James, looking at you've got the Liverpool defenders as well. So I think it's gonna be, sorry John, but a good win. I think good win for James. Might be your first win.
James is potentially. I feel like this is just gonna go James's way. I feel like his team is, going back, looking at his game weeks before, in a low scoring game week, last game week, he ended up scoring 47 points. His team is just fantastic. It's just a shame that he just keeps, losing to the man, really. Arnautovic has been cleared fit and ready to play. Sane, maybe he'll get 5 minutes this game week.
And still back a goal.
Yeah, Gundogan, he got lucky with Gundogan scoring a goal. It doesn't happen often. But Fraser is there. Fraser has been playing amazingly well. He has amazing stats. So potentially there could be could be some results there. But his doubling up of Liverpool defenders as well is going to help him, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I can only see a big Arsenal victory giving John a chance here, but I'm going to go for James as well.
Yeah.
Unanimous 3 for James.
Yeah, James.
Wow.
And then the final game, Nicholas versus Binesh.
Oh.
Nicholas with his new signing of Walcott.
Won't make much difference, right?
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that 1 game loan? So they've done it intentionally just to play against you.
I genuinely, I think it's really.
And how do you feel that they think Walcott is going to make
exactly?
a
All the players that are available, I think Walcott came into the mix, but if they feel that way, that I'm happy to have. I
don't want to talk about the transfer because there's some there's hidden side benefits, side transactions for those transfers. And I don't really want to talk about them, but it was quite funny because it's the whole point of the transfer. While I was trying to get Eden Hazard off Greg, and like Greg going over to Nicholas saying, "Oh, I've just transferred Eden Hazard. You didn't want him, did you?" And he was like, "No, I just wanted Walcott." So Nicholas is very focused with Walcott, and I feel like he's very confident with the inclusion of Walcott into his team. That it's going to do well. It could, because with Richarlison now, they're going to look at Theo to basically provide the assists, and his runs on the right hand side is still as amazing, and he still gets in the box.
I think my fear will be Aguero again this time around. I'm just thinking if Aguero's on fire, he could just win this overall. I think I'm thinking this time around, Nicholas could pick the win. Looking at the squads, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I'd hate to say it, Nicholas, but I reckon you could get this. You could get this one. I'm just going to struggle at the front at the moment on my side, front players. So
your forwards are.
Your forwards,
especially if Wilson's got to play. If against Chelsea, I think he's not going to get through that defence. So, so I think I hate to say it, but I think Nicholas might pip it.
Perfect.
I'm going to say I have to back City here, so I have to back Aguero to score a hatful. So I'm going to say...
You're going to say Nicholas as well?
Sham, considering I beat you, you can,
You know what? Potentially. Everton versus Huddersfield at home as well. So, and then you've got City as well. Aguero. It does go for Nicholas. I've got to say, I think Nicholas will get that win and take the second spot off you.
Yeah, wish me luck.
Yeah.
No, that I will not do.
Could it be the first week where Abu and I could lose, maybe,
Potentially, yeah. This,
you know,
I mean,
100% record.
let's hope so. Yeah, 100% record. No one basically gets it. This season will be a lot closer than last season was. So potentially, there could be 2 first losses for Binesh and Abu.
Wow.
All right, guys. I think that's everything from everyone in the first game. I think that's everything from everyone in this first podcast. Any advice, certain topics you guys would like to talk about? Let us know. We can talk about it going forward. Every week we would like to bring in a new manager just to discuss their team a little bit more. Special guests and interrogation.
Tactic talk.
Some people outside of the league as well, just to discuss football and looking at the league from outside of the current managers and seeing how this league operates and where this is going. And great. I hope you enjoyed the listen, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, guys.